Album of the Week, episode 36. Hey guys, hope you're doing all right. Hope this video finds you being healthy and staying well. I'm recording this video during the outbreak of the COVID-19, so I'm not sure, the coronavirus, I'm not sure when you're watching this, but in any case, I hope this finds you doing well. Anyways, this week we're taking a look at Mike Westendorf, Color Through the Gray. I've done another video, another album of the week with Mike Westendorf's latest album. It'll pop up there on one of those little thingies. You can check it out if you'd like. But I normally don't do these types of albums. I mainly stick to trumpet solo albums, orchestral albums, or jazz albums. Maybe a few other instrumental things thrown in there. So I don't do this often. And the main reason I wanted to do this one this week was because of everything that's going on right now. And I think the words in here are super helpful in any point in life, but I think especially with everything that we're currently going through as a nation and a worldwide community. So I just wanted to say that up front. If you're finding this hoping for a lot of contemporary Christian music things, this is not the right channel for you. But I might do a few more here and there. Now, the main reason is I generally, nothing against Mike Westendorf. I've played with him. He's a great guy. I really like him. I don't like this genre, the Christian contemporary music. I'm not a big pop guy. I don't really listen to music like that at all. Just in general, not just Christian music. I don't listen to any pop music or anything like that. It's honestly just boring to me. But I will occasionally listen, and Mike has a really great way with words. I mentioned this in the previous album of the week that I did with him, but his storytelling abilities are just they're amazing. He's really, really good. So if you ever have a chance to see him in concert, you know, he's great. So this album, Color Through the Gray, was released in 2008, I believe. And let me just say, the album art is really, really nice. I especially love the CD art on this. I don't know if you can really see it. I appreciate it a lot. That's just really cool. So there are a number of tracks on here. Let me actually, it's hard to read. One thing I don't like about the album art is it's all in cursive on the back, and I'm having a hard time reading it, and I would hate to misspeak on any of the titles of the tracks. But while that's loading up here, there is some information on the beginning of here, and I just wanted to, well, now this is up. Very professional of me. Very professional. So on this track, we have Come, Daddy Dance With Me, Prelude to Praise, Color Through the Gray, the album title name, At a Time, Be Still, Run Boy Run, A Love Never Known, Come, Reprise. And I just wanted to read, Mike did this on his latest album as well. He kind of says the purpose of this album, and I think that especially nowadays we don't appreciate what artists do to put together an album. You know, it's a project. It's a whole group of works where nowadays we just pick and choose the best songs, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's a different thing to listen through a whole album rather than like a greatest hits collection. You know, the album is speaking to what the artist was thinking of when he put it together, and I really appreciate that. So this is what Mike was thinking. I'm just going to read verbatim what he says. I set out with the intention to create a CD project that would capture some of the important stories and songs I've written and sung about as an artist over the past several years, and do it in a more acoustic arrangement. The idea of Color Through the Gray was actually born out of a lyric in a song by Chris Rice called Deep Enough to Dream. The thought was a reflection of the Christian life I'd like to have and the life I sometimes seem to be stuck in. The boxes the world puts us into, like being forced to stay in your home, quarantined, that I added that in. But the limits we put on ourselves, the burning desire to let God open us up and paint the picture of our lives in vibrant colors that only heaven can see. A canvas unbordered to watch God uncover the brushes. What would his painting of our life look like? If only we could let go of ourselves and let God paint with the colors we're sometimes desperate to see, especially in difficult moments when life leaves us in the gray, which I think we can all agree we're kind of all feeling that right now if you're watching this currently. This project wound up taking on that theme of encouragement for the wounded and the sick. I added that. And the joy and peace that comes through God's love. Songs and music for those living in full color, as well as those who are looking for the rainbow through the cloud that fills my sky. It's my prayer that in some way these songs are a blessing to you. Keep climbing in Christ. I'll link everything as far as all his information goes down below. I'll link his website. And then he has a few other projects that he does that I mentioned more in detail on my last one, but for this time I'm just going to link his website. This is also on Spotify, so you can listen to it through there. I recommend purchasing it, but I understand, especially now, funds might be a little tighter and blah blah blah. So Mike is a great guy though. I just really like the idea of this album, and when Mike wrote this in 2008, I don't think he was thinking about everything that's going on right now. No one was. But now that I'm thinking about it, back in 2008, 2009, we had the Great Recession, right? And we're getting into another one of those with everything that's going on right now as well. And I think this is so important to remember. The track of the week is Be Still. Merely for the name of it. I'm not going to judge any of these tracks on their musicality or anything like that. Only based on the words. And I'd encourage you to listen to the entire album. It just gives you so much encouragement. Color Through the Gray. We're living in a gray time right now. But there is color. You just have to see it. But be still. Be still and know that I am God. A lot of people are worried right now with everything that's going on, but you don't really have to be. I'm not saying don't take precautions or anything like that, because obviously you want to do that and just be prepared. At the same time, worrying won't add a minute to your life, right? You just have to trust in God. People lived through my grandparents lived through the Great Depression. They lived. I lived kind of through 9/11. I say kind of because I was like four years old. My parents lived through it, and there were people who died in all of those situations. And it might be you and it might be me as we're going through this. And I don't want to make light of that either. At the same time, God has his plan, and we just have to trust in it, okay? Don't take my words and mix it around saying that I'm not worried at all, because I am. I shouldn't be, but I am. But you shouldn't be. You are probably, but you shouldn't be. God's here for you, and this album really speaks to that. The words that Mike wrote. There's always color. You just have to look through the gray. So, anyways, there's my little talk on this. I didn't talk much about the album, just more with everything that's going on, but Mike's a great guy. I played with him. He played a lot of these, and that's actually the reason I picked this album up, is we can get more into the music a little bit. The Color Through the Gray, the track, when he performed it in concert, there was this crazy opening. He did a lot of really cool runs on guitar. I found it really, I liked it a lot. I enjoyed the more complexity of the music. That's not on this album though, so I was when I first listened to it, I was like, oh, okay, that's not on there. But you know, that doesn't take away from the words that are in here. So I would recommend you give this whole album a listen and just think about the words, think about the lyrics. That's one thing that as an instrumentalist I don't get to do really at all. Somewhat if I'm playing along with things that have lyrics, but as a musician, as a trumpet player specifically, I don't get to tell a story with English words. I get to use my own musical language, which is a beauty in its own way, but that it's not the same as having real lyrics. Anyways, can you tell I don't plan these? I just ramble. Anyways, though, that was this week's Album of the Week. Please check it out. I hope you're doing all right and stay healthy. Next week, we're going to be taking a look at an album put out by the International Trumpet Guild. It's called The Art of Transcription. When I got this, I thought it was maybe a jazz album, but it's not. It's music for trumpet and organ. The DiMartino Robinson Trumpet Organ Duo. Works by Mazzorchi, Ravel, and Tomasi. So it's a trumpet organ, and it's not necessarily rooted in religion, which is neither good or bad. It's just not religious, which is kind of interesting because generally speaking, trumpet and organ have a religious tie in there, but this one is not. It's pictures at an exhibition, Pavan, and then the last one, Semaine Saint à Cusco, Holy Week at Cusco. So maybe that's religious, but anyways, we'll be taking a look at this one. I'll see if I can link it below. I think you do have to be a member of the International Trumpet Guild to pick this up, and you're not going to be able to find this anywhere other than on a CD or if you happen to have the MP3 file of it. So anyways, again, I hope you and your family are staying healthy. If you like the video, please give me a big old thumbs up. Helps me out a ton. Hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so that you never miss another video with me. Comment below any future albums that you'd like me to take a look at, and I will see you next week.